Greetings and blessed Yule. Today I think is the 19th of December, so I think I have 2 more days getting the final preparations done for our personal Yule celebration. We had a group celebration about 2 weeks ago, which included feasts and dancing and those kind of things. A lot of individual parties, other parties, and goings on. And like everybody, whatever you celebrate, I think, we're all really busy at this time of year for whatever reason. So those of you who celebrate Yule and Christmas both probably really identify with this, because I'm getting ready. My family is all going to be here this weekend, next weekend, for Christmas, and of course I'm really behind. But anyway, I wanted to drop in and show you a few of the things that I'm doing. If you have watched my channel in the past, you know that I really shake it up from year to year. I don't do everything exactly the same. I do whatever strikes me. This year, though, just about every year, it includes a Yule log. That's one thing that I wanted to show you. If you saw my video last year, I showed you a little, you were sort of a part of the little ritual ceremony that Joe and I did on Yule this night, where we actually welcomed the light back into our home and burned the Yule log. This year we're going to do a little bit different. I'll talk to you about that a little bit, but right now I'm throwing together last minute Yule log. I usually do it much earlier than this, but I've been too busy, haven't gotten to it. So anyway, this is kind of, I just wanted to show you, if you haven't done yours, you still have time to do it. If I can get the video posted, that is. But right now I'm just cutting my wicks down to a manageable length. These candles, you see they're kind of crooked. I usually use these candles that I bought in pairs long ago. They were drip candles, but as they've restored in my home where the temperature is not very constant, got a little warm, and they kind of warped. But they're still very good for this kind of a thing, because for a Yule log we're going to burn the candles, the entire candle, log, everything. So it's not real important that we use the very best things. We do want to use things that are not toxic when we burn them. My husband Joe, I'll show you what I did this year, how I threw it together. It's really, there's really no art to it. There really shouldn't be art to it, because again, remember, we're going to burn it. He just found a nice log in the yard that he found one that sits kind of level, that there's sort of a flatter edge to it. If you don't have one that's kind of level, you can level it off on the bottom, but really there's no reason to do that. You can also just prop it, because the only reason you need to have it be able to stand upright is while your candles are initially burning down, because you're not going to put this into burn wherever you burn it, whether it be in your fireplace or in, unless you're doing it outside, where you're going to just let the candles from here burn. You're going to control the burn. I mean, we're going to let these candles burn tonight and tomorrow night a little bit, and then we'll finish it up for Yule, and just let them, when they get down, you know, about to here, before they're going to catch on any of the greenery that will go in our fireplace. Now remember, we said, oh, where's my bag? I have it here somewhere. Remember, we said that oh, I see it. My bag with my little piece of the Yule log from last year, I have it. I'll get it and show it to you for a minute. We took it out at the end. Remember, I told you last year, the reason, first of all, you don't want to have too strong of a fire in your fireplace. You have to be very careful when you have greens, even though many are dried. This stuff can really go up. You know, if you've seen horror stories about people's Christmas trees catching on fire, you know that it can be a very devastating fire when you have in. You have to be careful in an indoor fireplace that you really control the burn. Don't put too much in there at once. But other than that, we also, remember, want to just burn the Yule log. We don't want to burn other wood in with it at this time, because we want to, before it completely goes to ash, we want to be able to save a bit of the Yule log, take it outside, out of the fire, save it, and for a year, and that will be what we will burn to begin to use the fire, start the fire for next year's Yule. And I will show you how I keep it in my little bag. Okay? Anyway, to do the Yule log is a very simple thing other than finding the log, excuse me, drilling. My husband drilled 3 holes, 1, 2, 3, into the log so that we could set the candles in. And I did use a little glue gun with a little glue on the bottom of the candle to make sure it stays, because I don't want the candles to fall over when they're burning and catch the greens on fire or anything else. If you're not able to drill holes in a Yule log, you can use hot glue. You don't have to use big tall tapers. You can use smaller candles and hot glue, like little votive size candles, and just like hot glue them to the log and let them burn from there. Okay, but like I said, I used what I had, and I like this. Now we're going to have this on our table. We're going to use it on our table as a centerpiece on our kitchen table while we are between now and Yule. So of course I wanted the candles to be nice and strong so they're not going to fall over. Now other than that, what should I put on my log? I just got some greens, and I'm going to do a couple things with the greens. I'm going to show you. Let me see if I can reach. Getting my Christmas tree. We went to the Christmas tree lot. There's a whole box of these kind of things. Where they trim when they're cutting the bottoms off or whatever, or they fall off. And they sweep them up and they put them in a box here, because we have to get our trees here in the city. We get them through a Christmas tree lot. They're fresh trees, but they're cut. But you know, they're kind of dry. It's a dry climate here, so they dry out pretty fast. But anyway, I was able to get some, and I got 3 different kinds. They're combinations of pine and fir, couple of species of each. Maybe I have maybe 2 or 3 of each. So I have about 3. I think I have 3 or 4 kinds all told. But anyway, I just have pieces about this big that I brought home, and if they were bigger, I just cut them off of the big thing, you know. And I'm using those for different things. Some of it I'm using to decorate my Yule log, and I just basically took them, you know, like this kind of a thing. I put my candles in, and then I took and I stuck maybe one in here this way and one in here this way, you know what I'm saying. Just laid some on the top. And then I took some twine, and you can see if I turn it around to the back, it's not so pretty. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? That I just wrapped some twine around the log. Maybe not. The light behind me is kind of bad. But I just wrapped a couple, you know, around this way and then around the other way, and then just tied it so that there's just some twine on the back to hold down that initial layer of green. And then I just took and stuck some little bits in under the twine. That's all. Now, in addition to the greenery from the trees, if you were watching last year, you saw last year we added a little bit of bougainvillea and something else, I'm not sure what, from our yard. This year we didn't have any nice bougainvillea. I think we've torn it out, to be honest. But we did have some beautiful leaves from our orange tree. We have a navel orange tree and my magic tree that was a lemon tree that is now a combination or grapefruit lemon tree. So those are in here, and those are really wonderful because those have really good properties. In addition to the properties that the pine and the evergreens have, the lemon and orange trees are really good for a lot of things that they're good for, but one particular thing they're good for are, you know, they're known for, they're used very often in love spells or love magic, whether it be romantic love or be married love, like but anyway, I thought that was sort of neat. Put it in there. And also my chickens, my magic tree, my grapefruit / lemon tree is my chicken's tree, and the orange trees have been here since they were here before we moved. It was here before we moved onto the property, so it's really been here longer than we have. So it's a nice longevity kind of a thing. So this year I felt it appropriate for that to go in. So anyway, it's all ready now. We're going to just use it as a little tablescape. On Yule, we will do a little ceremony. We will light it, and then we're going to do a little different kind of a ceremony this year than we did in the past. Last year, if you want to go back to my older videos, you can see that we darkened the house, and then we lit the beginning. We started with the light from the Yule log, lit that, and then the light spread throughout the house, welcoming the light back into the night, into the darkness at the solstice. This year, yes, welcoming the light is important to us, but this year is really about, for us, laying our intentions. That's sort of the theme for the year, laying our intentions. You know, while we were, I'm just going to talk to you about this for a few minutes, and then I want to show you another other thing that I'm doing, but so I won't try to go too long. But I wanted to say, what do we mean by laying intentions? I think that, you know, I'm not the only person that uses that term, laying their intentions. It's not the same thing as making a resolution on New Year's. I think I might have talked about this a little bit in the past. To me, no, it's not quite the same thing. I don't make resolutions at New Year's. I don't like resolutions because resolutions to me just seem to be you know, empty wishes. It just seems to be wish. Like, you know, I resolved the new year, my New Year's resolution is to lose, you know, 40 pounds or whatever. Well, when people say that, they mostly mean, gee, I wish next year I was 40 pounds lighter than I am this year. Or my resolution next year is I'm going to quit smoking. What they really mean to say is next year, oh boy, I wish I'm just not going to be a smoker anymore. It's a wish without a laying of intention. You know, for those of you who celebrate both Yule and Christmas, that you might be doing what I'm doing right now, is I've been spending a lot of hours working on Christmas gifts for my friends and family. Or, you know, doing baking for my friends and family or whatever. So a lot of time doing busy work, work that's really, you know, using the hands, keeping my hands busy, busy, busy. And when your hands are busy, 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 and you're forced to stay in one place while you're doing your whatever you're doing, knitting or whatever it is you're doing, your mind is free to go. And a lot of times at this time of the year, when I'm so busy, so preoccupied with making things or all the things I have to do, like in my mind, I'm thinking of the pattern that I'm knitting. I'm thinking about what I'm going to be baking. I'm thinking about what I'm going to be taking to my daughter's for her New Year's Eve open house party. I'm thinking about what I need to have in the house for in the refrigerator for when my kids are here staying. I'm thinking about, you know, a party that we're having a week after Christmas that is a theme party that there has to be some things involved in that I have a lot of preparation to do for. I'm thinking about, you know, some friends that I want to get together and do some things. I have all these things on my mind, and I find myself thinking, oh, sometimes I wish my life were different. I wish I had more time to fill in the blank. I wish I was more prepared and I did not have to spend these last, you know, days of December. It seems like I lose my whole days between Thanksgiving and Christmas some years that I'm just so busy I don't even have time to really enjoy the holiday. I find myself saying I really don't even like Christmas. And I don't really mean that because, particularly for us, it always means friends. It always means family. It always means getting together with, you know, people that we love and just celebrating that love, celebrating that relationship. So to say I don't want it to happen anymore, well, you know, that's really not true. But I don't want it to happen in the same way. That is true. But it's not going to change by me making a resolution. This is what I mean by stating your intention. I read a really good article. I have it printed here that I wanted to just talk to you a bit about. But we talk about some kind of things that to consider when you consider how you can lay your intentions for the coming year. Okay. Instead of saying, oh, I want to get a job in the new year, I want to get a new job, I don't like my job, I want to get a new job, I wish I had a different job, we might say instead, how do I want to feel about my work? You know, how do I want to feel when I come home from a day of work? How do I want to feel about the relationships I have with people? How do I want to feel about that? I'm having a little bit of an issue, I'll say a little personal issue right now, because I've always had a little bit of a history, a problem with friends who leave. Friends who move away, friends who decide for whatever reason they don't want to be my friend anymore. Friends who die at a very, very suddenly and very quickly. Without any warning. Friends, you know, right now I'm facing quite a few friends who are moving away from the area. Just moving away. And when we have these things happen to us all the time, it makes us a little distrustful of forming relationships. Not distrustful so much, but I don't really want to give you my attention, my love, my time, I don't want to invest in this relationship if you're just going to up and leave me. I've made some new friends lately who are going to leave. You know, it's going to happen again, and I'm trying to change the way I feel about that. The old me would have said, I can't be your friend. I would never have said that, but that would have been my reaction. I can't go through that again. I can't go through that again. But then look at the joy I would miss if I did not experience that friendship. When I think about the friends and family members who have left me in the past very suddenly, who have passed, the alternative would be never to have known them at all. That wouldn't be right at all, would it? That would be terrible. I don't choose that. So this is just what happens. Things are not permanent. Things change. How can I change the way I feel about losing friends? How can I change the way I feel about what my work is? How can I change the way I feel about my spiritual life, my body, the relationship with my body? How can I change the way I feel about it? I have quite a few friends who are doing very well, losing a lot of weight, and I'm so proud of them. You know, I need to lose a lot of weight too, and you know, I'm inspired by them. But sometimes I feel that a lot of people are so, you know, they get involved in their weight loss program or whatever, that they're kind of obsessing on their weight, and all they talk about is their weight. And they're still, because they have this obsession with food. They have an obsession with food. So if they do lose the weight and they go off of their diet, whatever it is, they have not changed their obsession with food. They are still going to obsess about food. And if they go back to their normal eating habits, they're going to gain their weight back. That's what happens to most people, right? So the answer is not, don't do the diet. Yes, the diet is important. But along with the diet is, how can I change the relationship I have with food? How can I change the relationship I have with food? How can I change the relationship I have with my body? That's what we need to work on. That's what I need to work on. That's laying an intention. Do you see the difference? See the difference? Another question is, what kind of habits or what do I want to change? Just about the way. Do I obsess? Do I lay guilt or shame? Do I lay guilt on friends? Do I lay guilt on friends? I think I might. You know, how do I treat people? How do I treat people? You know, if they don't do what I want them to do, how do I react to them? This is what I'm talking about, is laying intentions. What are my intentions going to be? I can very well say I'm going to go out and make a whole lot of new friends. But if I do not know what my intentions are toward those new friends, it's going to still end up the same way. I'm still going to end up with this pain in my heart when things are not the way, when things don't end up the way I wish they did. If these aren't going to be permanent people in my life or whatever. Do you see the difference? I've been very angry. So many of us have been very, very angry on Facebook. I'm the first one to say it. I'm mad. I actually, a couple weeks ago, used profanity on Facebook, and now I'm a person who uses profanity in my everyday life all the time. I mean, I swear like a sailor, you know, my mother would say, I guess. I can really put it, you know, slam down with the swear words, but I do not like to see them in print. People tease me because I don't ever like to write out the words in print. I find it tacky. I find it, you know, not very flattering thing to do. Not very classy thing to do. I was so angry. I was just so angry about the political system in this country. I was so angry. I just couldn't help it. I just lashed out with swear words. It made me so depressed. I didn't even want to go on Facebook. I didn't want to do anything. Okay, how do I change the way I feel about that? I'm not going to change the way. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be disappointed that things aren't going the way they are going. But what my intentions need to be for the new year is, what can I do about my own part? What is my part in bringing out the change? In bringing forth the change, I need to do my part. I need to encourage other people to do their parts. Right? Not get angry. Angry is not going to solve it. So this is what we're doing for the new year. We're going to be lighting our Yule log again once more on Yule, and we're going to speak. Before we do so, we're going to speak our intentions. We're going to speak our intentions. We're going to speak our desires for what areas we want to work on. We're going to speak those first in the dark, holding hands, first in the dark. We're going to light the Yule log, and just by the light of the Yule log, we're going to state our intentions. We're going to state to each other what our intentions will be for the coming year. By saying them to each other, we're saying them, number one, out loud. We're also saying to them a person who can help us, make us, or break us, right? If you're going to go on a diet, you know, the first thing you don't want is your husband sabotaging you and you're bringing home cookies. Oh, I bet you your favorite cookies. And you know what I'm talking about. It's not just husbands. Women do the same thing. We kind of sabotage each other all the time. This way, if we really see our intentions of what we want to change about ourselves in this coming year, what new habits, what new emotions, maybe we'll have better success. So, anyway, and then we're going to, of course, burn the Yule log in the fire. So, I just wanted to do that for you. I'm going to show you one other thing that I'm doing. I'm going to just move these things away and move some other things forward. I was talking about these little bits. You see these little bits of stuff that I got from the Christmas tree lot. I got quite a few of them. And especially the ones that are the freshest, I am making out of these lovely things, I'm making some smudge sticks. Some smudge sticks. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. The light behind me is not bad. First of all, they smell wonderful, of course. And I will show you in another video what I'm going to do with these. But for right now, I'm going to show you just how I make them. You know, I've showed you in the past how to make smudge sticks. Excuse me, I need a little sip of my wine. I have made some really lovely ones in the past that we have, it is with that there, you can see it. I've made some really lovely ones in the past. On several of my videos, you've seen them that I made for my altar. I made some lovely ones out of stuff with Beltane. I made some using a lot of different flowers and stuff with my sage. I've showed you how I make small just sage bundles that I keep on my altar all the time, that are being charged all the time. And I've done a video on that. I also did a video on a smudge stick, which I called an intentional bundle, which I have on my healing altar in this room, that was not meant to burn. I made it as it's a healing altar. I was lighting a candle for a friend of mine who has had several surgeries, and I meant that to be there on with his candle as an intentional bundle not meaning to burn it. It was just fresh sage, fresh, some flowers in there, rose petals, and whatever the things, some lavender from the garden, all things from the property that I used in there, which I've showed you in the past. And that they took a little more work, because when you want to tuck in little bits, when you want to tuck in little bits, it takes a little bit more work than if you just want to make something like this. But these are just really single use. Oh, by the way, the intentional bundles, once they're dry, you can burn them. You can, of course, burn them. But for people who are in homes where they cannot burn smudge bundles, remember, you do not need them. And these kind of things, excuse me, they're so fragrant in the beginning. They do the job already without burning it. You don't have to go to that trouble. So what do I do? Well, I just take, to do it real quick, to show you what I did. I've cut most of these, but I just got some of these long guys, and I want to cut them about this long. Cut them about this long. Oh, so they're about the same age. Some are longer than others. Doesn't matter. But what I do when I get something like this is I just go along with my loppers and I lop off what I think I can use. You know, that one's pretty good that way. So like this, I'll just go along it. Whoops. Here we go. Oh, this is a cute one. This is all hairy. And I'll just lop off so that I have about individual pieces about like that. Can you see? Okay, and then what I do is I just start laying them together. This is a very quick, there's no art in this, because remember, this is just a utilitarian, and I'm not going to keep these forever and ever. You know, when you keep the sage, when they're dry, they really last a really long time. But these are not going to last as long because there's not as much water content in these. I think that's why, or there's more. I don't know what it is, but they tend to lose more needles, the longer you have them. The ones that are inside, the needles that are inside will still be there, but you know, it's not a. I've had some sage bundles that I've had for, I think, years that still are good. Okay, so anyway, I'm just going to take a bunch of things like this, and I'm going to make just a bouquet. And I'm going to try to, because I like different kinds, I like to include different kinds of the green, so it represents. And I'm trying to have as fresh as I can. But see, I'm just making a bundle as I can to, let's see. Oh, here's a nice one. These long ones, these are nice and thin. Anyway, make as much thick as I think I want to make it. And I can always add short ones into it as I go up. Little ones like this are short. I can add them as I'm going up with my knots. Okay, and skinny ones like that. Okay, some of these. And then for me, when I go to do it fast, I just take, you know, remember I always say use a natural cord. This string is either use cotton or use wool or something. And I'm going to go around the bottom with a knot. Because when you burn it, you know, if you have a synthetic yarn or something, it's just going to melt. It's really bad. And you also, the fumes from that are not good. You want something that's going to burn cleanly, like cotton or like wool or like silk. Okay. So anyway, I hold it together and then I just wrap around one time, you know, like maybe an inch apart, half inch apart, going up to the tip, okay? Kind of holding it together with my hand, and I'm just going to wrap kind of quickly and pull it tight as I'm wrapping, because remember, as it dries, it's going to get smaller. That also holds it together. Not worrying about the pieces that fall off. Okay, I go to the top. My cord is getting me. I hope the light is not too bad. And then I go down the opposite direction. So it all makes little, it just crosses. It makes like little X's coming down. And it's not for the design. It's just to hold the needles in better. As I go down to the bottom. It's a very quick process. Okay, and there I have it. I'm going to just take the end from when I started, if I can find it. It's getting so dark. I'm going to be really happy to welcome in that light. There it is. So I just get my ends. And I tell you, oh, it really smells good. It smells so fresh. And I broke my ends, so I have to re-knot it. Yes, I pulled you apart. It's not the end of the world. So, I plan on, well, I have you here, I plan on doing another little video. Okay, so there we go. And I don't think you can, I don't know if you can see it. It's so dark. But it's just a little bundle. I'm going to put it in here. And it just smells wonderful. It smells wonderful. Okay. I'm going to do a couple more. And about the same way. And then I'm going to show you, because I still have quite a bit of green. I have this much green left. So I could probably get, 4 or 5 more bundles out of here. Or 3 or 4 more bundles out of here. Okay? Okay, so that was that. And, oh, I was saying, I'm going to do a couple more videos. I'm going to do another video, upload another video in a couple of days, maybe tomorrow. Something that I am, a few things that I'm working on making for the holidays. Somebody requested that, and I have at least one thing I'd love to share with you. And I'm also going to show you what I'm going to be doing with the sage bundles and some other things. So, but before that, before I go, quickly, I'll just have to cut here 1 second because I want to show you 2 fun things. 2 fun things. Okay, I'm back. I located my little bag. It says Yule log. Actually, I don't have this little bag. And this is the piece of Yule log from last year, the last year's burning, that we pulled out of the fire, allowed to cool, and this is what we will use to start the fire to burn the Yule log. We'll do the same thing. It's kind of funny, but we've been using the same bag for years and years and years. I'm not sure why. Anyway, I wanted to show you that. Then I wanted to show you, we went to a little, two things. We went to a little, just like a little flea market, which was really cute. And I don't know, I just bought this. I thought this was really fun. I'm going to be using this. I'll show you how I use it when I shoot my video tomorrow. I don't know if you can see this. It's just cute. It's a simple pentagram, a star, but it's made out of paint sticks. These little paint sticks that you can get for free out of Home Depot. They just stained them and added a little bit of decorations to it, which I thought, I don't even know if you can see that because of my light. My light's so bad. Can you see this? I hope so. Anyway, I thought that was the cutest thing. So I wanted to show you that. Because I don't normally really buy much stuff. I don't know why I bought that. It just inspired me. But one last thing I had to show you. I was so excited. Years ago, when the kids were little, I had a Santa collection. I still have the Santa collection, but I used to put up my Santas. Oh, I don't know how many Santas I have. I want to say 100, a couple hundred, I don't know. I have a lot of Santas, and over the years, I've been getting rid of some of them, but I still have an awful lot. And it's a big job to put them all out, and of course the kids aren't home anymore, so there's really no reason for it. But this year we thought we'd put out a few of the little ones, especially the vintage ones that I really love. I remembered a Santa that we had that I had to find. I had to get out. We dug through boxes to find it. And here he is. We got him. I hope you can see. Oh, he's so cute. We got him in Hamburg in Germany when we were there. Joe had a business meeting there one year, and I was able to go with him. And it's called, I don't know what it's called because I don't know how to speak German. I don't know what it is. Anyway, Hamburg is famous for their smoking Santas. I don't know if you can see him, but he has a little pipe and he has a little hole in his mouth. And guess what he's going to smoke? Guess what's going to come out of him? Yes, you guessed it. And I was just, oh, here's dragon's blood. Oh, dragon's blood. Well, let's do patchouli. I just was in the garment district with some friends finding some fabric and came across a little store that sold stuff like this. And I don't usually, you know, I don't usually buy cone incense, very rarely. But I need it for my smoking Santa. He's such a fun thing. So I want to see if I can get him to work. It's probably not going to be any good to the incense. Ooh, if that's, I'm not sure. Anyway, you put the incense on his little, you take him off and you put the little incense on his little guy, his little thing. And light it. And, oh, it's very perfumey. This is not the best incense. This is why I'm not a fan of this kind of incense. It's like, anyway, and then you just put him back on his feet. Oh, now it smells good. Oh, and the smoke is coming out his mouth. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Puff, puff. Can you see? Puff, puff. That was the cutest thing. Anyway, he's gonna stay. He's staying out. So anyway, that's part of our Yule. So stay tuned. Tomorrow I'm gonna show you, probably I'm gonna try to do maybe two. One tomorrow, maybe the next day, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'd love to see what you're doing. I realize that everybody's really busy. If you're celebrating Yule and Christmas, you're all busy, so that's okay. But you know, you can always watch the videos next year. Do a video and then we can all get ready next year. Oh, isn't he cute? Look at him go, smoking away. Can you see the smoke? Mmm, patchouli. Smells wonderful. Okay, that's it. Talk to you later. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. As always, I am Rebecca the Good Wife, and I wish you blessings. Cheers. Happy Yule.